Does the suit make the man even if the man made the suit? Welcome to Infinity X Prime, and I am Infinity as your host for the second episode of Superhero Origins. This is the show where we talk about the most comic-accurate superhero origins story and bring them in front of you. Dear viewers, as from the title, you have already known that today we will talk about the most favorite superhero of Marvel Comics and movie both, none other than Tony Stark aka Iron Man. So, without any further interruptions, let's jump into the video. As with most comic book characters, there are often reimagining and different versions to a character's past. We have chosen to primarily follow the original storyline, which was published in 1963, Tales of Suspense, Volume 1, Issue number 39. So, let's start at the very beginning, before Iron Man was ever introduced. In the Marvel comic universe, Iron Man was created by the infamous comic superhero creator named Stan Lee. Stan actually came up with the idea of Iron Man where young people hated the war, military, and industrial complexes. And they hated everything related to war. There Stan wanted to come up with a character which would represent everything everybody hates and shove it down their throat. Then he came up with a guy who manufactured ornaments and was a multi-billionaire playboy. But Stan gave him a weak heart, and the rest are history. Now come to the point of Iron Man's appearance. So, Iron Man was first introduced in the comic named Tales of Suspense, issue 39 in March 1963. So, according to his first appearance, Tony Stark was born to Howard Anthony Stark and Maria Stark, owners of the prominent U.S. firm Stark Industries. As a boy, Tony was different and fascinated with building and controlling machines. Also, unlike many Silver Age comic book characters, Tony was an adult and entrepreneur, but before he became a superhero. Also, at age 15 he entered the undergraduate electrical engineering program at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, also known as MIT. From there he graduated with 2 master's degrees by age 19. After graduation, Tony went to work for Stark Industries, but showed more interest in boobies, and just living it all around a reckless playboy lifestyle, rather than using his engineering skills. At age of 21, Tony inherited Stark Enterprise when his parents were killed in a car accident, which would later find out was secretly orchestrated by a rival corporation, Republic Oil, later renamed Roxxon Oil Corporation. Still lacking in business skills, Tony promoted Secretary Virginia Pepper Potts to be his executive assistant, and left the majority of his workload on her, so that he could avoid what he saw as a burden. So, let's know how Tony managed to become Iron Man. As he was at one of the munition plants, while testing new technology for the military, he was injured by his own landmine. After that he was wounded by a booby trap and captured by Vietnamese guerrillas, led by the evil Wong Chu, with a piece of shrapnel lodged in Stark's chest and inching towards his heart. Wong Chu ordered him to build for the Vietnamese a super weapon in exchange for surgery which will save his life. Suspecting a double cross, however, Stark used the supplies he was given to build a magnetic device that would keep the shrapnel from reaching his heart. With the help from his fellow captive Professor Jensen, Stark began construction of an armored metal suit that he could use to escape. Before the suit could be completed, Jensen was forced to sacrifice himself, to buy Stark some time to power up the suit, using the same magnetic device that he was using to keep himself alive. With the Iron Man suit completed, Mark I, Tony defeated Wang Chu and his militants, leaving the enemy camp in ruins. This is how the Iron Man borned, in a limited supply of captured places. Of course, this first Iron Man suit was rough, and nothing like the iconic red and gold suit we know and love today. This iconic red and golden plated suit first appeared in Tales and Suspense issue number 48. It is also known as Mark II. After being defeated and nearly killed by the villain Mr. Dahl, Stark had to construct a less bulky that wouldn't put his greatest rain on his heart. Equipped with his new suit, Stark confronted Mr. Dahl again and defeated the villain. Iron Man would eventually get his own comic series in 1968. In the first edition of this series, the origin story was briefly retold as how he was captured and escaped and also managed to become Iron Man. Iron Man later became a founding member of the Avengers. After hearing that the Hulk was on loose, causing severe destruction, Tony decided to confront the Green Giant. An epic clash between Iron Man and the Hulk followed, before Thor flew in and explained it was Loki behind. Then, working all together, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp defeated Loki and named their new assembled group as the Avengers. Just like his origin story, his suits have gone through several experiments and his abilities have been modified and also revived throughout the years, with some of the biggest advancements being made more recently. Tony's strengths are his mind and his money, which uses to make technological additions to his current suit or even to make all new ones for specific situations. All of his powers comes from his various suits, which he is able to control by the help of the device named Arc Reactor and the help of his own created AI. One of the biggest changes to Tony's powers was that, when he was injected by Extremis virus. After a battle with the enhanced Extremis virus, which gave him increased powers, because it allows him to partially merge with the Iron Man suit and gives him the ability to control the suit using his own brain. Alright, anyway, let's talk about his armor. Iron Man has had more armor since his creation than I could probably even count. He's had the Mark I, the Mark II, Classic Armor, Proto-Classic Armor, Hulkbuster Armor, Thorbuster Armor, Stealth Armor, Extremes Armor, Bleeding Edge Armor, and these are the name of few. We will talk about all of his armors and their powers in our separate video, because it's huge. Also, as for his abilities, like I have mentioned before, on this show, he's an offensive genius and just one of the smartest minds in Marvel Universe, like Hank Pym from the Ant-Man and Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. So, this is how Tony Stark born and introduced as a superhero named Iron Man. Thanks for watching this video, and if you like this, then please give a like and subscribe this channel. Also comment below which superhero origin you want to know. Again, if I made any mistake, let me know in the comments. I will try to fix them in future. See you in the next video. Till then, stay safe and happy.